I killed a man with my bare hands that night, not because he deserved it, hell, maybe he did, but because the rage inside me had been festering for 7 years like an untreated wound. And that lunchbox note was the scalpel that finally cut it open. My son,
Tommy.
came home starving because some rich kid's overpriced bento box tasted like regret and almond butter. But what I found tucked inside wasn't food. It was the confession that proved I'd rotted in prison for a crime my best friend committed, while he built an empire on my broken back. And as I stared at those childish crayon scribbles spelling out, "Daddy says sorry for putting Uncle Jake in jail so we could have the house," I realized revenge wasn't a choice anymore. It was the only meal that would ever satisfy me again. The fluorescent buzz of Elmwood Elementary's cafeteria still haunts my dreams. That sterile hum like a swarm of angry hornets trapped under my skin. It was a Tuesday in late September. The kind of crisp Midwest morning where the air smells like wet leaves and fresh-cut grass from the soccer fields. But I was already running late. Tommy, my 8-year-old bundle of chaos, with his dad's crooked grin and my unyielding stubbornness, had forgotten his lunch on the kitchen counter again.
Mom.
"Please don't make me eat the mystery meat," he begged that morning, his brown eyes wide as saucers, clutching his Iron Man backpack like a shield. I promised I'd drop it off. No big deal. That's what single moms do in suburbs like ours. Patch the leaks, chase the deadlines, and pretend we're not one bad day from unraveling. I pulled into the parking lot at 11:45, the minivan's tires crunching over gravel that hadn't been fixed since the recession hit a decade back. Elmwood was one of those cookie-cutter public schools in suburban Ohio, the kind where the PTA fundraises for Chromebooks while the roof leaks in the gym. I juggled my coffee black, no sugar, because who has time for sweetness, and Tommy's battered blue lunchbox, the one with the faded Spider-Man sticker peeling at the edges. Inside, peanut butter sandwich on wheat crusts off. Always. Apple slices turning brown. A Capri Sun. And a note from me. "Knock 'em dead. Champ.
Love.
Mom." Simple.
Sane.
The life I was clawing back after 7 years of hell. The office lady, Mrs. Hargrove, with her cat-eye glasses and perpetual sigh, waved me through to the cafeteria doors. "Just slide it onto the rack."
Dear.
"The kids are lining up now." I nodded, slipping in like a ghost. The chaos of screaming third-graders, a blur of lunch trays, and spilled milk. Tommy's class was at table 5. Easy to spot, his wild curls bobbing as he arm-wrestled some kid over the last Jell-O cup. I scanned the hooks by the door. Rows of lunchboxes like soldiers in formation, pink with unicorns. Camo for the little hunters. One sleek black bento that screamed, "Trust fund." Mine wasn't there. Panic flickered. Hot and familiar. The same twist in my gut from those courtroom days when the judge's gavel fell like a guillotine. I must have grabbed the wrong one on the way out. Rushed. Always rushed. There, next to Tommy's empty hook, was that black bento. Matte and expensive. The kind with compartments for sushi rolls and organic hummus. It looked identical in size to mine. A stupid mix-up in the morning fog. Without thinking, I swapped them, slid Tommy's blue box onto the black one's hook, grabbed the bento, and bolted before the lunch monitor could yell about visitors only. Back in the van, engine rumbling to life, I popped the lid to double-check. The smell hit first. Sesame oil. Rice. Something fishy. Tuna? Maybe. Not Tommy's vibe. But whatever. I'd explain it later. Then I saw it. Wedged between a yogurt cup and a cloth napkin folded like origami, a folded square of construction paper. edges crimped with the waxy precision of a kid's scissor work. Crayon scribbles in purple and green, the kind of note a parent slips in to make their kid feel like the center of the universe. I unfolded it, the paper crinkling like dry leaves underfoot. At first, it was innocent. To my superstar Ethan, remember? You're the boss of recess today. Eat your veggies. And we'll hit the arcade after school. Love forever. Dad. My lips twitched, cute. The sort of thing I used to write before life turned me into a husk.
But then,
At the bottom, in smaller letters, almost an afterthought, scribbled in blue ballpoint that bled through the paper. P.S. Daddy's secret. We only got this big house because I told a fib about Uncle Jake. But don't worry. He's out now and doesn't know. Our secret. Okay? Promise not to tell. The world tilted. Uncle Jake? That was me. Jacqueline Jake Harlan.
ex-con.
The woman who'd done 7 years for armed robbery. Pinned on me by a snitch who vanished like smoke. My best friend since diapers. Mark Riley. The golden boy who'd sworn on his mother's grave he had nothing to do with it. Mark, who testified against me in that fluorescent-lit courtroom. His eyes wet with regret as he painted me as the mastermind.
Mark,
Who'd bought the McMansion 2 blocks from the prison gates with insurance money while I rotted in Chillicothe Women's Correctional, learning to hotwire cars and hate the mirror. Ethan. That was his kid. The boy Tommy played Fortnite with on weekends, the one with the private tutors and the backyard pool. The note trembled in my hands, the crayon hearts mocking me. A fib? A goddamn fib that stole my freedom, my marriage, my everything. Tommy's dad, Ben, had walked out when the cuffs clicked on, couldn't handle the felon wife label, and I'd emerged from those bars with nothing but a rap sheet and a boy who asked why mommy smelled like strangers when she hugged him goodnight. I drove home on autopilot, the bento spilling onto the passenger seat like guts from a fresh kill. My duplex on Maple Street, rent-controlled. Peeling paint. The neighbor's dog barking at shadows. Felt smaller. Suffocating. Tommy wouldn't be home for hours. School bus at 3:15 sharp. I had time. Time to think. Time to remember. Mark and I grew up in the same suburb. 2 wild girls chasing fireflies and shoplifting candy from the corner store. He was the charmer, always one step ahead, the one who talked us out of trouble with a grin and a lie. When we hit 18, it was supposed to be us against the world, community college, waitressing gigs, dreams of LA screenwriting. But the economy tanked, jobs dried up, and Mark, always the schemer, pulled me into one last score. A jewelry heist at the mall. In and out. No one hurt. Except it went south. Alarms. Cops. And suddenly I'm the one holding the bag, literally, while Mark slips away with a take, framing me as the lone wolf desperate for cash. I believed him, even in lockup, when his letters stopped and the visits dried up. He's scared, Jake, my public defender said. A harried kid fresh out of law school. Family man now. Wife's expecting. Family man.
Yeah, right.
I'd clawed my way through appeals, therapy sessions where shrinks poked at my trust issues, and vocational training that taught me welding but not forgiveness. Out on parole 3 months ago, I'd landed a night shift gig at the auto shop, scraping by on tips and grit. Stability, they called it. Bullshit. The note burned a hole in my pocket as I paced the kitchen. Linoleum creaking under my boots, steel-toed. A gift from the shop. I pulled out my phone, fingers flying to Mark's number. We hadn't spoken since the trial, but parole rules let me reconnect with support networks. His Facebook was public, smiling family pics. Ethan in Little League. His wife Lisa glowing at wine tastings. VP at some tech firm now. Commuting to Columbus. Living the dream on my nightmare. I typed, "Hey, old friend. Lunch mix-up at school today. Found something interesting in Ethan's box. Coffee tomorrow?"
Jake. Send.
The whoosh echoed like a gunshot. That night, sleep was a joke. Tommy crashed through the door at 3:15, reeking of playground dirt and that bento's fancy stink.
Mom.
Some kid had my lunch, peanut butter?
Gross.
I traded for chips. He dumped his backpack, oblivious, and I forced a laugh, ruffling his hair. Sounds like a win.
Bud.
Homework before screens. As he vanished upstairs, I rifled the returned blue box. Nothing amiss. But the note? I'd kept it, folded tight, hidden in my sock drawer next to the switchblade I'd forgotten to surrender at release. Mark texted back at 7:42 a.m. Jake?
Wow.
Been ages. Coffee sounds great. Usual spot? 10. Usual spot, Dino's Diner. Formica counters and Bottomless Joe, where we plotted our futures over greasy hash browns. I replied, "See you there." The drive to Dino's was a blur of goldenrod fields and billboards for trucker motels. My knuckles white on the wheel. What was I doing? Confront him? Blackmail? Or just stare until he cracked? Parole officer would flip if I even breathed confrontation. But that note, our secret. Okay, it was a crack in his perfect facade, and I was the hammer. He was already there when I pulled up, sliding into the booth across from his tailored polo and easy smile. Mark Riley, 42 going on frat boy. Hair still boyish blonde. Laugh lines earned from boardrooms, not bars.
Jake. God.
You look good. Prison treating you kind. His eyes flicked over me, jeans frayed at the hems. Flannel shirt from the thrift bin, polite pity masked as warmth. We ordered black coffee for me, latte with oat milk for him, because dairy's inflammatory now, and dance the small talk tango. Tommy's soccer tryouts. Ethan's science fair volcano. The weather. Always the goddamn weather. Then I slid the note across the table, flat as a playing card. Read it. Out loud. His face drained. Latte forgotten. What the, where did you? Voice a whisper. Eyes darting to the waitress, wiping down the counter. He unfolded it, lips moving silent over the words. That P.S. Hitting like a gut punch. When he looked up, it wasn't remorse, it was calculation. Gears turning behind those baby blues. Mix up.
Huh?
Kids say the darndest things. Ethan's got an imagination. Bullshit. Mark. My voice was low, steel-edged. The kind honed in yard fights where words were weapons. Uncle Jake. The house. You confessed to your own kid.
Why?
He leaned back, fingers drumming the formica, tap, 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 like Morse for fuck you. Jake. Listen. It was a lifetime ago. I was young. Stupid. Lisa was pregnant. No job, panic mode. The cops were closing in. I had to think fast. Think fast. Like selling me out for a plea deal that never came. Because he took the loot and ran. You framed me. Testified, I planned it all. I did 7 years. Mark. 7. While you played house. The diner blurred. coffee bitter on my tongue. A couple in the corner booth glanced over, sensing the storm.
He sighed.
Theatrical. The sigh of a man who'd practiced in mirrors. I sent letters. Money. Anonymous.
To your commissary.
What do you want? Jake? A check? Therapy? I'm sorry. Okay. Water under the bridge. Water under the bridge. My laugh was sharp. Jagged. That bridge is my life. Asshole. Tommy doesn't even remember his old house. Ben left because of you.
I snatched the note back.
Folding it into my fist. This changes nothing?
Fine.
But if it slips to Lisa. Or the cops. Or that fancy firm of yours. His smile vanished, replaced by something colder. A glimpse of the schemer who'd outrun feds in a stolen Civic. Threats now? That's not the Jake I knew. He tossed a 20 on the table, exact change. No tip, and stood. Let's keep this between friends. For the boys' sake.
Friends.
The word tasted like ash as I watched him saunter out, keys jingling like chains. Back home, I locked the doors, checked the windows, paranoia. My old companion. Tommy was at school.
Safe.
But that night, as sirens wailed distant in the night, I lay awake, the switchblade's handle cool against my palm. Revenge? It wasn't a plan yet. But the seed was planted, watered by betrayal's black rain. And seeds like that, they grow thorns. The next week blurred into a haze of normalcy I wore like a bad disguise, dropping Tommy at school with 4 smiles. Clocking in at Harlan's Auto, irony. Right? Dad's old shop. Now mine by blood and bankruptcy. Welding fenders under fluorescent glare while grease monkeys catcalled about fresh meat. But Mark's face haunted the sparks. His water under the bridge echoing like a bad country tune on the shop radio. I kept the note taped inside my locker. A talisman of truth. Rereading it during smoke breaks until the crayons purple bled into my fingertips. Lisa called on Thursday. Voice all honey and hallmark.
Jake.
Mark mentioned coffee, said you looked amazing. We should do girls' night.
Wine. Gossip.
The works. Girls' night. As if we hadn't shared bongs in college, or cried over breakups in her dorm. She'd been the new girl. Innocent transfer from Kentucky. The one Mark reeled in with charm and lies. I played along. Sounds fun. Saturday.
Click.
Bait set. Saturday rolled in with a freak heat wave, the kind that turns Ohio into a steam bath. Cicadas screaming from the oaks. Lisa picked me up in her Lexus SUV, spotless. Leather seats scented like new money, blasting Taylor Swift because empowerment anthems. Am I right? We hit Vino's, the upscale wine bar in German Village. Columbus, where 20-somethings in athleisure sipped rose and pretended at profundity. 2 glasses in Pinot Grigio, a crisp as her bob haircut, and she was spilling. Ethan's tantrums. Mark's stress at work. The McMansion Reno that ate their savings. You're so strong. Jake, she said. Clinking glasses. Her diamond tennis bracelet catching the light. Coming out of. You know. And raising Tommy solo? Iconic.
Strong.
That's what they call it when you're too broke for therapy. I nodded. Sipping slow. Probing gentle. Mark ever talk about the old days? Me and him. Thick as thieves. Her laugh tinkled. Genuine but edged.
Oh.
Honey. He clams up. Says it was wild youth. But I know he feels guilty, sends cash to old friends. Quiet like. That's Mark. Always the fixer. Fixer.
Yeah.
Fixing his messes on my dime. The wine loosened her. Words tumbling. How he'd proposed on a beach in Maui, my parole savings.
No.
Wait. That was before. How Ethan's imagination got him in trouble at school last year, drawing scary pictures of bad uncles in jail. My grip tightened on the stem. Glass near shattering. Bad uncles? Casual. Like asking for salt. She waved it off. Cheeks flushed. Kid stuff. Mark explained it away, some game they played. But enough about us.
Tell me about you.
Dating? Spill. I spun a yarn barista crush. Nothing serious while my mind raced. Ethan knew. The kid carried Mark's sins like a backpack. Innocent vessel for poison. By the time she dropped me home, buzzed and hugging too tight, text me. I had what I needed. Access. Girls' night meant playdates. Tommy and Ethan. Glue under microscopes. Sleepovers in pillow forts. The perfect Trojan horse. Monday. I texted Mark. Boys want a playdate. This weekend? My place. His reply. Great idea. Builds bridges. Bridges. He'd burn this one too. If he knew. The playdate was a masterclass in facade. Saturday noon. Their SUV crunched my driveway. Ethan bounding out with a drone under his arm, top shelf. $300 easy, Tommy whooping like it had been Christmas. Mark and Lisa air-kissed cheeks. Bearing a Costco sheet cake, allergy-friendly, and small talk about the Browns' losing streak. I played hostess. Juice boxes. Xbox controllers. The works. While the boys trashed my living room with Fortnite gunfire, we adults clustered in the kitchen. Me slicing cake with a serrated edge that felt too apt. Mark was charm incarnate, complimenting my cozy setup, code for pity the duplex. Lisa cooing over my vintage dishes, thrift store salvage. But his eyes tracked me, wary, like a dog scenting thunder. How's the shop? He asked. Casual. Sipping cores from my fridge, irony again. The beer I'd bought for Ben's ghost. Busy, I said, plating slabs of chocolate. Welding's therapeutic. Burns away the rust. Double meaning hung. But he chuckled. Oblivious or feigning. Lisa excused herself to powder nose, leaving us alone. Opportunity. Notes safe, I murmured, rinsing a knife under hot water. But Ethan's chatty. Mentioned Uncle Jake at school last week. Tommy asked questions. Mark's jaw ticked, fork pausing midair. Coincidence.
Kids talk shit.
But sweat beaded his temple. Summer heat or guilt? Look, Jake, let's bury this. I can help. Job hookup.
Maybe.
Real estate's booming.
Bribe.
Classic Mark, dangle carrots. Hide the stick. Tempting, I lied, drying my hands on a towel that smelled like bleach and regret. But some debts aren't cash settled. Lisa breezed back. Oblivious. And the moment shattered. The afternoon dragged. Drone crashes into my ceiling fan. Boys' laughter a bomb and a blade. By dusk, as they loaded up, promises of next time, Mark lingered at the door. Voice low. Don't push.
Jake.
For old times. Old times, I echoed, closing the door soft.
Inside.
Tommy yawned. Drone clutched like treasure. Ethan's dad is cool.
Mom.
Said we could visit their pool.
Cool.
I tucked him in later, reading Goodnight Moon with a voice steady as rebar. But my mind was welding plans, alibis. Access points. The sweet calculus of payback. That night, I scoured the internet on my ancient laptop, burner browser. VPN from the shop's Wi-Fi. Mark's firm, Riley Tech Solutions. Cybersecurity for banks. Ironic for a thief. LinkedIn glowed with his accolades. Innovator. Mentor. Family man. Dig deeper. Property records showed the McMansion bought cash. Right after my sentencing. No mortgage. My heist haul. Tuesday. Parole check-in. Officer Ruiz. Stone-faced Latina with a stare that peeled lies. Staying clean. Harlan. She flipped my file. Yellowed edges like old skin. Clean as a whistle. I grinned. Palms up. Inside. The note's ghost whispered. She nodded, but her eyes lingered. Women's intuition. Or just cop cynicism. Post-meeting. I hit the library free Wi-Fi. Anonymous. Forums for ex-cons. Revenge threads. Half joking. Half deadly. Don't do it, the mods preached. Karma's a bitch. But the stories.
Oh.
The stories. A guy in Cali who torched his ex's garage. Walked free on accident. A woman in Florida who leaked nudes. Ruined a career. Ideas bloomed. Dark and thorny. By Friday. Phase 1 Ethan. Playdate number 2. This time at their pool. Lisa texted. Pool party. Bring suits. I packed Tommy's floaties. My resolve. Their backyard was Eden heated lagoon. Tiki bar. Fairy lights strung like nooses. Ethan cannonballed. Splashing Mark's polo as he grilled brats. Beer in hand.
Jake.
Dive in. The water's fine. I did. Literally, and not. Swimsuit clinging. Chlorine sharp. I chatted with Lisa about essential oils while watching Mark with the boys. He was good at this, doting dad. Tossing a beach ball. Laughing loud. But I saw the tells. Glance at his watch. Phone buzzes ignored. The way he stiffened when Ethan yelled.
Dad.
Tell the Uncle Jake story again. Mark froze. Spatula mid-flip. Later.
Buddy.
Burgers first. Lisa laughed it off. Imagination station. But I filed it. The kid was a leak. Slow but steady. As dusk fell. Fireflies dancing like lost souls. Mark cornered me by the grill. He's just playing. Drop it. Jake. His breath. Bud Light and fear. Or what? I smiled.
Sweet as the cake from last week.
You'll fib again? He stepped closer. Voice a hiss. You think you're the only one who lost? I wake up sweating. Every night. But this life, Lisa. Ethan, it's mine now. Touch it. And I'll bury you deeper.
Threat.
My blood sang. Old instincts firing. Try it. The boys ran up then. Dripping and demanding esmores. Diffusing the bomb. But the fuse burned shorter. Driving home. Windows down. Country radio crooning about lost love. I plotted. Not violence, not yet. Something surgical. Mark's empire was digital. Mine was analog grit. The shop had tools. Wire cutters. Jammers from Ben's old ham radio days. A quick search. Riley Tech's big client gala next month.
Black tie.
Waterfront hotel. Invitation only. But Lisa? She'd get me in. Girls' night extension, I'd say. That week. Dreams turned vivid. Mark's face underwater. Bubbles of apology. Woke sweating. Switchblade under pillow. Tommy noticed. You okay? Mom, you look like when Dad left. Hugged him fierce. Always. Kiddo. Phase 2 crystallized. Infiltrate. Expose. Dismantle. But as I welded a chassis that Thursday, sparks flying like accusations, doubt crept. Was this justice or just another cage? Mark deserved hell. But Ethan?
Lisa?
Collateral in my war. Controversial. Yeah, the kind of gray that splits families at Thanksgiving. Still, the note's words looped. Our secret. No more secrets. Time to shout. October slunk in like a thief. Leaves turning blood red under skies heavy with Ohio's first chill. The shop slowed, folks buttoning up for winter. Less joyrides to fix, and I welcomed the quiet. Time to sharpen my edge. Lisa's texts pinged daily now. Bridge building with wine emojis and mom memes. Ethan adored the playdate. Pool rematch soon. I fed the line. Absolutely. Tommy's hooked. Hooked. Understatement. Mark stayed radio silent. A ghost in my periphery. I'd spot his SUV at school pickups. Him waving casual if our eyes met. But no coffee invites. No hey. Remember when. Smart. He knew I had the blade, figurative. For now, pressed to his throat. But paranoia? It was mutual. One night. Headlights swept my duplex at 2 a.m. Engine idling curbside. Cop car?
No.
Just a neighbor's insomniac. Still, I slept with the light on. Switchblades wait a cold comfort. The gala loomed, Riley Tech's annual shindig. Cybersecure Summit at the Hilton Riverside downtown. Black tie. A-listers from Silicon Valley slumming it in the Rust Belt, schmoozing over shrimp cocktail and keynotes on data integrity. Mark's baby, he'd MC. No doubt. All slick slides and humble brags. Lisa spilled details over casual lunch at Panera. It's stuffy, but great networking. You should come, my +1 bailed.
Perfect.
I played coy. Me? In a gown? I'd trip over the red carpet. She insisted. Eyes sparkling. Jake. You'd kill it. Empowerment. Remember? Bought a dress on clearance, navy sheath. Thrift rack, but tailored sharp at the shop's ancient singer. Paired with heels I hadn't worn since Ben's cousin's wedding.
Pre-cuffs.
Mirror check. Not bad. Scar on my collarbone from a yard brawl hidden. Eyes lined smoky. War paint. The night arrived crisp. Stars pricking the riverfront like bullet holes. Lisa picked me up. Stunning in emerald silk. Air kissing as we valet parked. You look fierce. The ballroom glittered, chandeliers dripping crystal. Waiters in penguin suits gliding with trays of champagne flutes. Jazz quartet murmured in the corner. Bass thrumming like a heartbeat. Suits and gowns milled. Bankers with Rolexes. Tech bros with man buns. A senator's aide nursing scotch. Mark spotted us from the podium, mid-greeting a cluster of VCs. His smile a rictus. He excused, sauntered over, tux crisp, bow tie perfect. Ladies. Kiss for Lisa. Nod for me. Eyes sang minefield. Enjoying the vibe. Jake. Love it. I purred. Sipping bubbly that fizzed like suppressed rage. Reminds me of old scores, high stakes. All bluff. Lisa laughed. Clueless. Looping his arm. She's teasing. Jake's got stories. Dinner seated us at a round with execs. Small talk on blockchain. Tariffs. The Browns' quarterback curse. Mark dominated. Anecdotes flying. Back in the day, I hustled code like a street magician. Hustled. I smiled through salad. Fork spearing arugula like eyes. Post-entree. The keynote, Mark on stage. Spotlight haloing his blonde halo. Preaching trust in the system. Irony choked me. I excused to the ladies. Heels clicking marble. In the powder room, marble sinks. Orchid bouquets, I texted Tommy's sitter. All good? Heart emoji. Stability first.
Then.
Deeper play. I'd scoped the hotel online, service elevators. Back halls to the AV room. Riley Tech demoed their software live. Firewalls and encryptions projected huge. A glitch? Embarrassing. A leak?
Catastrophic.
Back in the hall. Lisa dragged me to dance, swaying awkward to Fly Me to the Moon. Her whispers of Mark's tense lately, work stress. Stress.
My gift.
As the set ended, I slipped away, ladies again. Mark's eyes tracked, but Lisa chattered on. The service corridor smelled of bleach and steam, kitchen exhaust, laundry carts. I followed memory. AV room, third door. Badge unnecessary, propped open for techs. Inside, racks of servers humming. Monitors flickering code. No guards. Arrogance of the elite. My phone, jailbroken with shop apps. Connected to their Wi-Fi guest network. Easy pickings. A quick script. Downloaded from dark web relics, DDoS Lite. Targeted to flood their demo with junk data. Not destructive, yet just enough lag to stutter Mark's big reveal. Timer set, 5 minutes. Back to the ballroom. Seamless. Snagging a fresh flute. The keynote resumed. Mark cueing the demo. Watch as CyberShield repels a simulated breach in real time. Lights dim. Screens glow.
Then.
Stutter. Pixels freeze. Code scrolling haywire. Murmurs ripple. Glitch? Mark's face. Sweat slick. Ad-libbing charm. Tech hiccup, folks. These are the threats we face daily. Laughter. Polite. But eyes narrow. VCs whisper. He recovered. Barely, demo salvaged. Applause thin. Post-speech. Clusterfuck. Reporters snapping pics. Execs grilling him in the lounge. Lisa fretted. Poor baby, servers overloaded? I consoled. Arm around her. He's a pro. Mark caught my eye across the room. Glare pure venom. Message received. We bailed at midnight. Lisa tipsy giggly. Me wired on adrenaline. Drop off. Night. Warrior. Her taillights faded. I exhaled. Shaking.
Petty? Sure.
But watching him squirm. That empire wobbling. Nectar. Monday. Fallout. Shop radio buzzed with it. Local tech firm embarrasses at gala. Mark called that afternoon. Voice clipped. We need to talk.
Now.
Dino's again. Irony's encore. He slid in. No latte, black coffee. Mirroring me. Bags under eyes. Stubble shadowing his jaw. Cute trick.
Jake.
AV hack. Paranoia suits you, I said. Stirring sugar I didn't take. Considerate interest. His fist clenched. Knuckles white. This ends. Or I go to your PO. Old associate harassing me. Parole violation. Poof, back to Chillicothe. Counterpunch. And I go to the feds. Riley's firm built on stolen gems. Laundered through shell accounts. I kept receipts. Mark. From the heist. Bluff. Fire hadn't touched the lockbox, but his flinch said hit.
Stalemate.
He leaned in. Voice breaking character. Jake.
Please.
Ethan's starting therapy. Nightmares about secrets. Lisa's asking questions. I can't lose this. Vulnerable Mark. The boy from backyards. Not the viper. Pity flickered, damn it, then rage snuffed it. You lost it when you sold me out. Now pay. I left him there. Coffee cooling. Driving home with windows down. Wind whipping confession from my bones. Tommy greeted with Lego towers. Build with me? Mom, we did. Bricks stacking like alibis. His small hands trusting. For him, I'd stop.
No.
For him, I'd finish. That week. Escalation. Anonymous email to his board. Ask Riley about the 2015 mall job. Insurance fraud. Sourced from public records I'd twisted. Stock dipped 2%. Per Yahoo Finance. Lisa's text cooled. Everything okay? Mark's distant. I replied vague. Planting seeds. Twist came Friday. Package on my porch. No return. Brown paper.
Heavy.
Inside, stack of photos, me at the gala. Time stamped in the corridor. Surveillance stills. Grainy but damning. No clipped. Back off. Or Tommy's next playdate is with CPS. And signed. But Mark's cologne lingered. Faint as threat. Panic clawed, real now. Visceral. I burned the pics in the sink. Flame-licking glossy lies. But sleep fled. Schemer turned stalker. Controversial? Hell yes, dragging kids in. But he'd started it. Fib to felony. Saturday. I armed up. Shop pistol. Registered. Locked in safe. Drove to the McMansion under cover of soccer practice. Scouted earlier. Lisa's Pilates slot. Back gate ajar.
Pool nets drying.
Slipped in like shadow. Heart hammering. His office. French doors. Blinds cracked. Inside. Oak desk. Family pics. Laptop glowing screensaver. Ethan's smile mocking. Rifle drawers. Files. Nothing. But the safe wall-mounted. Combo lock. Birthday? No. Our heist date. July 15th, 18.
Click.
Inside, cash bundles clean now. Laundered. And a ledger. Handwritten entries from my trial. Payouts to witnesses.
Proof.
Jackpot. Alarms blared. Motion sensor. Idiot. Lights flooded. Dogs barked distant. I bolted. Ledger tucked in jacket. Vaulting fence into neighbor's hedge. Tires screeched away. Adrenaline tsunami. Home safe. Ledger scanned to encrypted drive. Leverage. But as dawn broke, Tommy stirring for cartoons. Doubt gnawed. This war. Who'd lose most?
Me.
The ghost?
Or them.
The throne? No turning back. The hook was set, now real. November's gray veil smothered Columbus. Frost etching windows like accusations. The air thick with wood smoke from leaf-burning yards. The ledger burned hotter than evidence. A Rosetta Stone of Mark's sins. Columns of dates and dollars tracing the heist's shadow economy. I digitized it piecemeal. Nights when Tommy snored soft. Uploading to a Tor-hidden server via the shop's back bandwidth. Entries leaped. JH. Legal, $5K. My sham trial fund he donated to look clean. Shell 3 transfer, $20K. Gems flipped through a Cincy pawn ghost. Motive. Method. Money trail. Enough for feds to nibble.
If I dangled it right.
But revenge isn't a vending machine. Punch code. Get justice. Mark's threat lingered. Those photos a noose tightening. I installed cameras, cheap ring knockoffs from Amazon. Wired to my phone, front door, back alley, even the minivan's dash. Paranoia? Survival. Tommy noticed the new toys. Spy stuff. Mom? Like James Bond. I ruffled his curls. Just for fun. Bud. Keeps the monsters out. Lisa's text dried to drips. Busy week. Rain check. But Mark? Crickets. Then a burner call Saturday night. Voice distorted. You got balls?
Harlan.
Drop the book. Or I drop you.
Click.
Chill spidered. He knew.
How?
Shop bug? Neighbor snitch? I changed locks. Varied routes to school. Even skipped a parole check. Risky. Ruiz would notice. Phase 3. Leak slow. Bleed him. First drop. Anonymized tip to the Columbus Dispatch. Ledger snippet redacted. TechXX firm tied to old robbery payout. No names, but dates matched public records. Story ran Tuesday. Buried in business section. Insider whispers. Riley Tech's shady roots. Stock twitched down 1.5%. Per my burner app. Mark's LinkedIn went quiet, no posts. Just a generic grateful for the team that reeked of damage control. He retaliated swift. CPS knock Wednesday. 2 suits on my stoop. Clipboards gleaming. Routine welfare check. MS. Harlan. Anonymous concern. Neglectful environment post-incarceration. My blood iced. Tommy at school. Thank Christ. I played composed. Coffee offered. Declined. Home tour spotless. Laundry folded. Fridge stocked with kid fare. Who's the tipster? Ex? Neighbor? They stonewalled. But I said paid. Cleared me. But the scar, Tommy home. Asking who are the police guys? Lie smooth. Wrong address. Sweetie. Rage crystallized then, not hot. Cold fusion. The kind that forges blades. Mark wasn't scheming. He was scorched earth. Kids as kindling. Controversial? Dragging innocence. Yeah. But he'd swung first. Eye for an eye. Suburb style. Counter. Deeper dig. Library nights. Microfilm reels of old dispatch archives. Pre-digital heist coverage. Grainy shots. Me in cuffs. Mark. Witness at trial. His testimony quoted. Jake planned it all. Desperate times. Buried obit. His dad. Dead of cancer mid-trial. Devoted father. Leverage? Grief is weapon. But needs must. Friday. Olive Branch. Texted Lisa from a ghost account. Heard about the article. Mark okay? Old friend worried. She bit. Stressed. Rumors flying. Drinks. Vinos again. Neutral ground. She arrived frazzled. Hair frizzy. No makeup. 2 Chardonnays deep before cracking. Jake. It's bad. Board meeting tomorrow. Investors pulling. And Ethan's acting out. Drawing jail pictures again. Mark swears it's coincidence. But coincidence. I consoled. Hand on hers. Men and their secrets. Remember college? He ghosted me once, week-long bender. Comes back like nothing. Planting doubt. Subtle as poison ivy. Her eyes welled. He changed after Ethan. Better.
But.
Distant. That trial. He never talks. But I see the mail. Anonymous deposits stopped last month. Deposits. My blood. She'd known peripherally. Enabling by silence. Talk to him, I urged. Bill split. Before it festers. Festers. like my cell block grudge. Driving home. Revelation. Lisa as fulcrum. Turn her. Topple the tower. But pity? She was collateral. Like me once. Blinded by his shine. Gray area deepened. Readers would split. Villain or victim. Saturday. Storm hit. Nor'easter whipping the river. Power flickering. Tommy and I baked cookies. Flour-dusted laughs a brief sun. Then buzz. Ruiz voicemail. Harlan. Missed check-in. Call back. Or warrant.
Shit.
Called from a payphone, shop payphone. Alibi. Flu. Officer. All good. She bought it.
Barely.
That night. Escalation. Gala photos emailed to Mark's board. Ask about the AV room visitor. She's got history. Attached. Blurred still of me.
Timestamped.
Bluff. He had mine. Tit for tat. His reply? From company domain. You're done. Then deletion. Trace wiped. Monday. Shop drama. New hire. Buzzcut kid named Dex. Ex-military. Tats peeking, too chatty about tech gigs. Mark's plant? I tested. No Riley? Big shot. He stiffened. Heard of him.
Why?
Hired on trial. Fired by lunch, not a fit. But seed. He was watching. Climax brewed. Ethan's birthday party. Invite by Elisa, family thing. Mark insists. Trap or opportunity? RSVP yes. Prep. Ledger copy mailed to feds. Return address none, Columbus P.O. Box. Cash bought. Slow fuse. Party day. Their backyard. Bounce house rainbow. Piñata swinging like a piñata. 24 kids shrieking. Parents in khakis sipping spiked punch. Mark manned the grill. Apron kiss the cook, smile plastic. Ethan. 9 now. Crown askew. Hugged Tommy fierce. Lisa orchestrated games. But her eyes red-rimmed. Searching mine. Mid-cake. Mark pulled me aside. Behind the shed, smell of mulch and malice. Feds got your package. Empty. But they're sniffing.
Lie?
His bluff strong. But sweat betrayed. Call off.
Jake.
Or Lisa learns everything, your role in the heist.
Not just mine. Twist.
My gut dropped. He'd twisted the narrative. Kept my accomplice Prince as insurance. Gray indeed. I'd swung the bag. Adrenaline high. But he'd scripted the fall. You're both dirty, he hissed. But I built this. You broke.
Broke.
Rage surged. Fist-stitching. Then burn it all. Walked away. Cake frosting sweet on tongue. But bile rising. That night. Home safe. Tommy asleep with party favor sword. I cracked. Dialed Ben X. Estranged. In Akron now. Voicemail. It's Jake. Need advice. Call. Dawn reply. What now? Met at neutral, Bob Evans. Biscuits and bad news. Ben. Softer around the middle. Eyes wary. Parole drama? Spill. The note. The war. Omitting the hacks. He listened. Fork paused. Jake. Stop. You're spiraling. For Tommy, therapy. Not this. Therapy. The word mocked. But his hand on mine, first touch in years, stirred embers. I can't. He took everything. You took it back, out. Working. Momming. Win that.
Pause.
Missed you. Both of you. Spark. But as I drove home, Ledger's ghost whispered, unfinished. Controversial choice, love or vendetta? Split second. Delete the server files?
No.
Backup first. Twist loomed. But I felt it, the peak, where lines blurred to blood. December dusted the suburbs in false holiday cheer, strings of LEDs twinkling like lies. Mall Santas ho-ho-hoing over Black Friday scars. The war ground on. Attrition style, my Fed's tip vanished into void, no calls, no raids. Mark stock stabilized with a robust audit presser, but cracks spidered. Lisa's girls' nights turned interrogations. Jake. Level with me. Mark's distant. And that article? I deflect. Rumors.
Han.
Focus on Ethan. But her trust frayed. Texts terse. Tommy's school play loomed. A Christmas Carol. Him as Tiny Tim. Crutch-wielding Ernest. Rehearsals 8 evenings. Me in folding chairs with other moms. Sipping thermoses of spiked cider. Spotted Mark once. Ethan as Scrooge's nephew. Our eyes locking across the gym. Daggers. Not decked halls. Post-show mingle. He approached. Santa hat askew. Great job, Tommy. Polite poison. I nodded. Ethan killed it. Family tradition. His jaw ticked. Something like. Lisa hovered, arm linked in his united front, but her smile strained. Home. Adrenaline crash. Ben's words echoed. A siren in the storm. We'd texted since. Cautious. Co-parent vibes. Dinner? Neutral, he'd proposed. I bit. Olive Garden. Endless breadsticks. No steaks. He arrived with a poinsettia for Tommy. Eyes soft. Heard the play was magic. Dinner flowed. Laughs over Tommy's God bless us lisp. Ben's new gig as foreman. My shop tails minus the shadows. Dessert. Tiramisu. His hand brushing mine.
Jake.
We were good.
Once.
Could be again. Temptation. Warm as candlelight. But the ledger's weight in my purse, copy, always carried, chilled it. Ben. It's complicated. Complicated. The man who'd bailed, now circling like a second chance. Or trap. Decline gentle. But the seed took. Normalcy's pull. Yet revenge? Insatiable. A black hole sucking light. New Year teased. But Mark struck preemptive. New Year's Eve. Burner text. Galapix to PO. Your move. Attached. In hand still. My face clear in the corridor. Ruiz would see trespass. Parole breach. Panic. Called her pre-dawn. New Year's confetti, still street litter. Officer. Heads up. Old associate stirring shit. Fake claims. She grunted. Handle it clean.
Harlan.
Or cuffs. Escalation. I countered with Lisa. Mailed her the ledger, redacted. Just enough. For the woman who deserves truth. A friend. Return none. Watched from afar. Her SUV at Vino's Solo. Then home. Lights blazing late. Next day. Playdate cancel. Ethan under weather. Translation. Fallout. She confronted him that night, I knew from the scream. Thin through open windows I'd parked blocks away. Binoculars from shop. Words fragmented. Ledger? Jake? What the fuck? Mark? His defense. Fabricated. She's unhinged. But doubt-seated. Growing feral. My high crashed mid-January. Ruiz's unannounced visit. Badge flashing at breakfast. Tip line lit up. Your associate swears you threatened him. Photos. Timestamps. Showed the gala still. Heart hammered. Photoshop. He's framing me again. She eyed me. File thick. One strike.
Harlan.
Community service. Mandatory counseling. Screw up. Revoked.
Strike.
The word bruised. Tommy peeking from stairs. Eyes wide. Mommy in trouble? Hug fierce. Just talking.
Bud.
Pancakes. Counseling started Wednesday, Dr. Ellis. Shrink with wire rims and Freudian couch. Anger management, per court. Sessions, me spilling sanitized, betrayal. Loss. The mix-up note vague. He probed. Revenge fantasy?
Denied.
But mirror lied. Eyes hollow. Hands scarred. Ben stepped up. Let me help. Lawyer buddy. Pro bono. Dinner to his place. Tommy thrilled at Dad's fort. Cozy trap. Spaghetti. Board games. Bedtime story trio. Post-tucken. Wine on couch. Jake. Fold the cards. He's winning.
Benes lips brushed min, tentative.
Then fire. We tumbled. Clothes shedding like skins. His body familiar stranger. Dawn, tangled sheets. Regrets aftertaste. This, us, could work, he murmured. I fled to work. Grease and guilt. But Mark? Cornered rat. Text from Lisa's phone, hijacked. Leave us alone. Or, he confesses your part. Your part. The bag. The getaway. Accomplice truth. Gray deepened. I wasn't innocent. Just the goat. February freeze locked the river. School snow days chaining Tommy home. Playdates dead. But Ethan cornered him at recess. Whispered, my dad's mad at your mom. Tommy relayed innocent. Rage. Mark poisoning wells. Decided. Endgame. Ben's lawyer confirmed. Ledger admissible. But my prince tainted it. Mutual destruction. So. Personal. Scouted McMansion again, pool drained. Winter cover taut. Office window. Latch loose. Night of the 14th. Valentine's irony's kiss, slipped in post-midnight. Black clad.
Gloves on.
Heart thunder.
But steady.
Inside. Dark. Silent save clock ticks. Desk rifled. Laptop open. Password Ethan's birthday suite.
Stupid.
Files. Emails to PIs. My name bold. 1. Harlan threat assessment. Neutralize if escalates. Neutralize. CPS was appetizer. Deeper. Deleted folder. Recovered. Pics of me. Post-prison. Shop shifts. School runs. Stalking reciprocal. But jackpot. Voice memo. Mark to self. Admitted to Lisa? No, she'd leave.
The fib.
It was for us. Jake's tough. She'll move on.
Fib.
The notes echo.
Raw.
Copy drive. Slipped out unseen. Alarm glitch? My earlier hack's ghost. Home. Dawn breaking. Ledger augmented.
Now.
Broadcast. But twist. Morning news. Shop TV blaring. Local tech exec in custody. Embezzlement probe. Mark. Not me. Feds had bitten my tip. Delayed fuse. Stock crashed 20%. Board fleeing rats. Called Ben. It's over. He hooped. Karma.
Babe.
But guilt gnawed. Ethan's face in family pics. Collateral tear. Lisa's call came noon. Jake.
He confessed.
Everything. The heist.
You.
Why? Voice shattered glass. Truth hour. He framed me.
Lease.
For the life you have. Silence. Then sob. I knew. Suspected. God. What have we done?
We.
The word hung. Uniting victims. Protect Ethan, I said. That's all. Hang up. Afternoon, Ruiz. Beaming rare.
Clear tips corroborated.
Good work. Harlan. Evening, Ben over. Takeout Thai. Tommy Abed. Proud of you.
Kish soft.
Promise. But night. Alone. Ledger's wait. Victory? Or Pyrrhic? Mark's cell waited. Irony's cage. Yet the notes crayon hearts mocked. Secrets out. But scars stayed. Climax neared. But the peak? Slippery. Blood slick. Spring teased reluctant. March mud sucking at tires. The river thawing to sluggish brown. Mark's arrest hit like a nor'easter. Front page dispatch. Cyber mogul falls. Robbery ties unearthed. Feds swarmed Riley Tech. Seizing servers. His mugshot circulated. Hollow-cheeked. That boyish charm curdled to sneer. Bail denied. Flight risk. They cited. My tips tendrils. Lisa lawyered up. McMansion for sale, signs stabbing lawn overnight. Ethan yanked from Elmwood. Homeschooled in scandal shadow. Tommy asked once, where's Ethan? I hedged. Family trip.
Bull.
But kids talk, playground whispers of cops at Riley's, his drawings confiscated as evidence. My boy hugged tighter nights. Sensing storms. Ben solidified, weekends his dinner's routine. Talks of merging households. Akron commute? Will figure. Optimism. Fragile as crocuses pushing dirt. I leaned in, counseling with Ellis helped. Unpacking rage like old luggage. Forgiveness isn't absolution, he said. It's release. Release. The word tempted. But Mark's ghost clung. Fallout rippled. Shop buzzed. Dex the ex-hire returned. Heard you torched Riley? Respect. No, karma's match. But pride flickered. Dark thrill. Lisa reached out sporadic. Ethan asks for Tommy.
Can they?
Neutral ground. Park meet. Supervised. Boys splashed puddles. Oblivious. While we benched her gaunt. Eyes shadowed. He lied about everything. The money.
You.
Even our wedding fund. Skimmed from the take. Empathy stung, sister in arms. He was always the storyteller.
Pause.
You knew.
Though.
The deposits. She nodded. Tear-tracked. Turned blind. For the dream.
Dream.
Ours shattered, hers rebuilt or rubble.
Ethan.
Therapy. Nightmares of bad dads. Bad dads. Mark's legacy. Crayon scrawled. Blame game helps short-term, I said. Then let go. Hypocrite, my grip loosened. But not slack. That meat seeded more. Boys supervised hangs. Lisa and I coffee clutches, wounds aired.
No salt.
Ben met her once. Strong women, he toasted. Unity. Fragile. But Mark? From lockup. Letters smuggled by a PI.
Bold.
First. Jake. You win. But Ethan's paying. Call off the wolves. Wolves, feds. Hungry now on embezzlement add-ons. Replied via same. You lit the match. Escalation. Trial loomed. April docket. Subpoena arrived. Witness. Victim. Courtroom redux. Fluorescent hell. Prep with Ben's lawyer. Stick to facts.
No emotion.
Facts cold.
Damning.
But emotion? My fuel. Pre-trial hearing. Courthouse stale as regret. Metal detectors beeping accusations. Mark in orange. Shackled. Eyes meeting mine across gallery. Plea. Not guilty. Voice steady. Lisa absent. Ethan shielded. His lawyer spun. Coerced testimony. Old grudge.
Grudge.
My motive. Twisted. Post-hearing. Ambush. Mark's sister. Tara, fraternal twin. Estranged, cornered me in hall. You destroyed him.
Jake.
For what? Pride.
Tara.
Lawyer sharp. Eyes Mark's blue but fiercer. He protected us, Dad's medicals. The house. You were in too deep. In too deep. Truth's barb. I'd swung the bag. Laughed at alarms. Gray absolute. He sold me out. Family or not. She scoffed. Family's all we had.
Now?
Shattered. Walked. Heels clicking judgment. Doubt avalanche. Was I avenger or architect? Ella's session. Moral ambiguity. It's human. But action defines. Action. Mine testify full. Bury him. Ben sensed. Second thoughts. Bed tangle. His warmth anchor.
No.
Closure. April bloomed violent. Storms ripping roofs.
Meroring gut.
Boys' Easter egg hunt. Tommy and Ethan giggling over plastic grass. Lisa and I packing baskets. Ben grilled lamb. Rare normalcy. But buzzkill. Feds call. Harlan. New angle. Riley claims you masterminded. Corroborate. Corroborate. Mark's final scheme. Flip the script. Drag me under. Panic. Lawyer scramble. Alibis dusted off. Bullshit, Ben roared. He's desperate. But seed. Trial as cage match. Both bleed. Decision. Counterleak.
To dispatch.
Anonymous. Inside Riley trial. XX desperate lies. With memo audio, his fib confession. Story dropped eve of trial. Secret recording rocks case. Stock. What remained. Tanked. Public bade. Trial day. Packed gallery.
Actimium dirja.
I took stand. Oath bitter.
Da gently, mestre.
Harlan. Walk us through the heist. Voice steady. Mark's pitch. Easy score. My role peripheral. His exit clean. Cross. His lawyer savage. You held the gun. Emmis. Harlan. Accomplice. Not victim. Objection sustained. But damage. Jury eyes skeptical. Mark testified afternoon. Contrite mask. I panicked. Protected family. But audio played, his voice tinny. The fib. For us. Gallery gasp, his glare mine.
Pureate.
Recess. Tara again. Venom. You leaked it.
Low. Jake. Low. Pot. Kettle.
Jury deliberated 2 days. Agony. Ben pacing my duplex. Tommy at his mom's, irony. Verdict. Guilty. All counts. Sentence. 15 to 20. Federal pen upstate. Gavel fell. Mark's head bowed. Lisa's sob from back row. Aftermath. Press swarm. Me dodging mics. No comment. Home. Ben's arms. Over. Champagne popped. Tommy asleep early. But closure? Elusive. Letter final from Mark. You got me. But Ethan's letter to Santa? Wish Dad home. Uncle Jake forgiven. Think on that. Enclosed. Kids scrawl. Crayon plea. Guilt tsunami, Ethan's innocence. My shrapnel. Controversial apex, justice served, but at child's cost? Reader split. Hero or heel. May bloomed soft. Lilacs scenting air. Ben proposed merge, his lease up. My duplex cozy for 3. Family.
Jake.
Yes whispered. Heartful. Yet nights. Notes ghost. Changed life. Yes, but whose? Twist brewed.
Subtle.
Summer scorched in. July heat waving asphalt to mirage. Fireflies pulsing like guilty heartbeats. Mark's appeal dragged. Lawyer fees bleeding Lisa dry. McMansion sold to a flipper family. Her leasing a condo in Hilliard. Ethan thrived. Weirdly, therapy unlocking chatter. Boys hangs weekly now. Fort building marathons in my yard. Tommy idolized. Ethan's like a brother. Brother. Blood or not. Bonds forged in fire's afterglow. Ben moved in gradual. Toothbrush first. Then closet space. His tool belt hanging shopboard. Nights tangled sweet. Mornings coffee shared. Plotting park BBQs. Normalcy. Hard one. Counseling duo now. Ellis beaming at progress. You've rewritten the narrative.
Jake.
Narrative.
Mine, survivor.
Not specter. But scars itched. Feds circled loose ends. Cold case on the heist gems. Rumored fenced in Florida. Subpoena 2. Deposition. Tying bows. Testified crisp. Ben waiting lobby with vending machine Snickers.
Proud, he said. Pride.
New flavor. Lisa leaned confident. Lunches at first watch. Dissecting wreckage. Mark wrote from prison. Apology tour. Read aloud. Contrition Inc. I stole your freedom.
Jake.
Forgive. Forgive. The word stuck. Thorn in throat. Rue it, she asked. Avocado toast cooling. Every day. Half-truth. Rue the cost. Not the coal. Ethan's birthday 8. Pool less bash at community center. Me contributing cake. Double chocolate. No nuts. Kids splashed. Adults margarited. Ethan pulled me aside. Gap-toothed. Thanks for everything. Dad says hi.
Hi.
From bars. Olive branch bent. Hugged him fierce. Tell him hi back. Kid logic.
Pure.
August hummed routine shop booming.
Actini installs speaking fast.
Dex promoted. Loyal now. You play hard. Boss.
Hard.
Ben's ring glinted workbench. Proposal casual. Post-dinner walk. Marry me? Jake? Again?
Yes.
Teary. Tommy whooping overhead from treehouse. Wedding small. September equinox. Backyard affair, string lights. Potluck. Ellis as uncle. Vows simple. Through cuffs and comebacks. Rings exchanged. Ben's steady hand mine scarred but sure. Honeymoon? Cabin in Hocking Hills. Leaves turning early. Hikes hand in hand. Tommy with grandparents first solo. Nights. Stars blanketing. Ben's whispers love you. Always did. Always. Post-Ben bail. Pre-rage. Closure? Return. Life stitched. But October chill brought ghost. Package. No sender. Mark's script on envelope. Inside. Flash drive. Labeled truth. Plugged in. Dread coiling video file. Home cam grainy. Mark. Pre-arrest. Office dim. Pacing. Phone to ear. Yeah. P.I. Harlan's clean.
But dig.
Leverage. Cut. Him to Lisa. Argument raw. She swung the bag.
Babe.
Accomplice. Her cry. But you framed her. Then, the note, Ethan's I planted it.
Bait.
To draw her out. Planted. The lunchbox swap, his setup, video, and his laugh.
Cold.
She'll crack. Take the fall again. World cracked. The note, crayon forgery. His scheme to provoke. Record threats for his defense. Twist. I was pawn encore. Rage his script. Fury reborn. Blacker. Called Ben. Need space. He worried. Jake.
Drove.
Aimless Elmwood lot. Empty now. Ghosts of mix-up. Confront Lisa. The note fake. Her gasp he. Admitted. Post-trial. Wanted you riled. Entrapment. Entrapment. My hacks. Threats his net. Rage ward reason. Testify again? Appeal his? No, his guilty stood. But my soul, tainted. Decision, burn it. Drive to riverbank. Dusk purple. Toss flash in current. Watched sink. Ripples fading. Ben found me there. Whatever it is. We face.
We.
Anchor. But Mark's last play, letter with drive. Knew you'd find out. Checkmate or mercy?
Mercy.
His out. Reduce sentence. If I recant testimony. Temptation, free him. End cycle? No, Ethan's nightmare's his. Not mine. Replied final. Rot. Mailed. No return. November harvest moon. Family dinner. Ben carving turkey. Boys giggling. Lisa joined. Tentative, new normal. Toasts to secrets buried. Buried. But roots deep. Climax, that night. News alert. Mark's appeal denied. Suicide watch after incident.
Incident.
Razor, pills, lived. But broken. Guilt, flicker. But release, yes. Gray lingered his schemes. My strikes.
Who right?
Debate fodder. Winter gripped final. January gales howling like unsaid regrets. Snow blanketing sin soft. Mark's incident, wrist slashes. Shallow, landed him solitary. Appeals exhausted. 18 actual post-good behavior whispers. Lisa visited weekly. Ethan monthly, he draws now. Asks for you.
You.
Uncle Jake. Myth or monster. My life bloomed defiant. Ben's ring official. Shop expanded. Second bay. Dex foreman. Tommy's baseball sign-up. Ben coaching Harlan Harrison's. Unbeatable. Name hyphen. Future tense. Counseling tapered. Ellis. Integrated.
Jake.
The dark's just shadow now. But shadows lengthen. Spring floods. Rivers swelling biblical. Washing debris. Metaphors unbidden. One morn. Walk with Ben. Bloated log snags.
Carved initials. Emir.
1998.
Us. Pre-fall.
Remember, he asked. Nod. Wild times. Lisa's thaw complete. Joint custody vibes. Boys inseparable. Her dating app glow. Nice guy. Accountant. Boring good. Laugh shared. Upgrade. Ethan's 10th. Arcade bash. Mark's card declined. Irony's gift. I covered. Quarters clinking forgiveness proxy. Kid hugged. Thanks. And Jake.
Aunt.
Title earned. Blood free. Summer solstice. Vow renewal. Beachy, Lake Erie. Toes sand. Guest sparse. Ben's folks. Lise-Ethan duo. Ruiz surprise, off-duty toast. Words renewed, in betrayal and beyond.
Ring wet salted.
Kiss sunwarm. But, twist final. Autumn equinox, call from Chillicothe Mark. Transferred back. Compassionate. Voice crackle, Jake.
Dying.
Cancer. Like dad.
Fast. Dying.
The fib's father. Irony's scythe. Visit.
Benhurst, closure.
For you.
Drove solo. Prison gates déjà vu baise.
Search. Sterile room. Gaunt. Orange loose. Eyes clear. Came to gloat.
No.
To hear. Here. Confession full. Heist his solo panic. Me collateral for clean witness. The note. Forged. Yes. PI planted in Ethan's box. Swap staged via school friend. Wanted you unhinged. Charges stuck. Unhinged. My war. His win almost. Why tell? Rasped. End it. Ethan's yours now, Lisa's crumbling. Be the uncle. Not the ghost.
B.
Offer laced venom. Guilt is chain? Or grace? Why me? Whisper. You were family. Still are.
Pause.
Cough wet. Forgive? For him. Forgive. The hook's third prong, shocking. Controversial. Him dying. Me rising, absolve. Or let fester. Walked out. Gates clanging final. Ben waited. Free? Nod. Yeah. No absolution voiced, but inside. Release valve cracked. Wrote Lisa, he's yours. But door open. Her reply. Thank you. November frost. Family thanks. Table groaning. Turkey.
Pies.
Boys chatter. Ben's hand mine. Tommy's drawing centerpiece. Us all. Crayons bold. Happy end.
And?
Or comma. December dawn. News obit. Mark Riley. 43. Survived by.
No mention me.
But Ethan's card arrived. Uncle Jake. Dad said sorry.
Love. E.
Crayon hearts. Real this time. Life changed notes promise. Twisted true. Revenge. Pyre burned. Ashes fertile. Happy. Bittersweet. Gray glorious. Tragic? Only if unforgiven. I chose forward. With Ben's ring glint. Tommy's laugh echo. Ethan's door ajar. Hooks sunk. Killed. Metaphor. Rage dead. Life changed. Irrevocable. And you, reader, judge me? Split the sides. Debate the dusk. Because in America's underbelly, heroes bleed villains' hue.